And we're live. Can you see me? You can probably see me. Hi. Okay, we're back. It is Friday night. It is 7:30. It is March 2nd. And we're streaming Indie Dev. I'm streaming earlier than usual because I can't stream on Monday. I have to vacate the apartment on Monday. So what has changed? Not much since last time I streamed. I've been kind of busy at work. Did I do anything at all? I've been picking at some random little things here and there. I did some stuff towards the end of the game. I fixed a couple of things. Basically, it's been bug fixing and working on things towards the end of the game, but for the most part, I don't think much has changed. I did pull the fog over this level, and I have things that will like show and unhide that. So there's a little bit of work with the fog. But other than that, I don't think there's much to report yet. It is a surprise stream. Oh man, you guys got in here so fast. Hey, cheese, a fallen hope, Nordle. Definitely no sushi. Okay, so, yeah, I need help focusing. It's been a long week. One of the things I want to do in order to get this ready, in the very beginning of this project, I said each month I'd have a build that I could send out to people. And I want to get back to that. One of the things I would need to have happen in this build, there's 2 bugs. One of them isn't really a bug, it's more of a, I'm really pissed off at the trombone. Oh yeah, I moved around some things in the UI. Forgot about that. Okay. So I brought back the dev. This was the old UI I had before. I just brought it back because it's way easier to work with when debugging. What am I doing here? Right. So, the trombone. I'm going to call this a bug because it pisses me off enough. The control scheme for the trombone has always been really bad. It works well for the controller. I need the idea that you select a limb. The way I'm using it with the controller is you, I'll show you. Have a controller. I need this arrow selection setup stuff for the controller. It works way better, right? Because I don't have a cursor and I don't want to do like the dumb controller mouse cursor thing for this. And that's fine. That works well for the controller. But for the most part, people are going to be playing the game with mouse and keyboard. I don't know why I closed that. And this, I was hesitant to have a different control scheme for mouse and keyboard versus for controller. But this feels like ass. Just does. People get used to it, from what I understand, but pretty much the first thing everyone says is that this is weird and that they wish they could just click the limb. So I should just do that. Lord knows I've tried everything else. I think the first time I did this I had it set up so that right mouse click did one limb and left mouse click did the other, but that you would just lose track of which one was which. And I've tried a million things. But yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna have to make 2 different code paths. We're gonna make one for if you're using mouse and keyboard only, and with that one you click the limb. I'm saying this out loud, I have no idea how to actually do that. I don't want to actually have you need to click, like this is kind of fiddly and thin. So I think I want to use like, I want to do hit detection against the grid, I think. Does that still work? So Grid World knows, the Grid World knows if if a grid ID is being occupied by a limb, and which limb. So I think I'm going to do hit detection against that, maybe? I feel like it should live in the pawn, though. Also, it's really irritating to detect if you're using controller versus mouse and keyboard. There's no easy way to do that. I think I'm just gonna deprecate the controllers, or like... I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna find out. So this is the stuff that, where I find the angle. What I'm doing right now is I'm detecting where your cursor is, just tracing a vector in 2D space from the location of the pawn to the cursor, and then one from the location of the pawn to the end of the limb. And I'm detecting which I'm finding the delta between those two angles. Which is fine. Good evening, Root Lancer. What's up, man? Let me show you why that's not fun. Because that'll let me procrastinate a bit. You get in this situation, and you can kind of, like right here, which limb do you think should activate? See, it's weird. You're getting a lot of dithering right around here too. Whereas your brain says, if I'm clicking here, it should be the limb that's closer to me. Also, the arrow throws people when they're using mouse and keyboard, because like in this instance, I don't know. Okay, so I want to use this. Controller. Can't even type anymore. I have bad brain right now, guys. This is high risk. So... I mean, how do we even... Alright, let's Google some shit. Hey, Roy. Hey, Aubrey. Sorry about that. I'm, changing the control scheme for the trombone. If you're using mouse and keyboard. Detect. I want to do like a ray trace, but from... like, your cursor isn't in the world. Detect mouse over object. 3, 4. How do other people do this? Like... I don't want the UI stuff. I want it to be like just like a raycast, right? Get hit result under cursor by channel. That sounds perfect. Explain politics? Yeah. After a long week at 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night, you want me to explain politics? What would you like me to explain, Aubrey? I'll go there. I'll warn you, I haven't been following anything on Twitter. I assume Trump did something stupid. I think that's fair. I assume he did something stupid and reckless, and I assume the media reacted predictably. I assume there'll be something new, reckless, and stupid that the media explain the Brexit. Wow, that's way outside of my... That's on the other side of the pond. Americans don't really pay attention to anything other than American politics. We're pretty terrible about that. Though I will admit, even I have heard of the Brexit. I feel like America lost its goddamn mind, and UK was like, but we were the ones that were supposed to, like, we're the most important, and so they're trying to be cool. America's like the UK, they were the most important country for like most of history. And then America came along, and they're like younger and cooler. Now the UK is trying to be like hip and cool like America, so they're trying to be as... They're seeing us losing our goddamn minds, and they're like, oh, well, that must be cool now, so we'll try to lose our minds too. But they're just like, kind of stuffy. They're trying. You're conservative? I'm sorry, Aubrey. You can be conservative and still hate Trump. There's nothing about Trump that is good for conservatives either. A lot of people in Massachusetts are like old school Rockefeller Republicans, and even they hate Trump. Like, Trump is just... I just don't like what he represents. So, anyway. I lost a fan. Goodbye forever, Aubrey. What is this? Under cursor? I gotta make a stand at some point. I'm making a stand on... I'm not a fan of Trump. Yeah. Nordal, there's a joke. Like, you don't talk about politics or religion. The two things you never talk about. People get... It's very difficult, especially now, to have conversations about these things. It's... the country is very divided for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons why the country is divided right now. I mean, the world is going through a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of changes in technology. The world is going through a great deal of globalization. Like, we're going through a period of time where a lot of the way of thinking and the systems of governments that we have probably can't sustain us in the future. I know people who strongly believe we should have a war, Aubrey. That it would be good for the country that the country pulls together when we have a war. I find that to be extremely disappointing. I think it's disappointing that we rely so much on the military as a form of welfare in our country. I'm not an expert in politics. Not really an expert in much of anything, but I'm pretty good at making games, so I should probably focus more on that, huh? Maybe. Hey, Weez, what's up, man? What was this called again? Get hid result under cursor. Just give it context sensitive. Result. Huh. I started following them because you told me to, Nardal. I love Weez's streams. I like the, what do you call it? I like the music that he plays. I haven't been catching the streams as much lately. In fact, I think there's, Tanya Short is giving a talk today on some thing at like 10. It's in my email. I should hopefully get noticed or notified of it. So I'm probably gonna stop the stream at 10 and go watch that. Maybe I will host it and we can all watch it together. Can't hit results. Okay. Oh, can I get out of this? Like, is this even a pawn? I think you might not technically be a pawn. Are you? No collision. Nothing has collision. Yeah, I specifically turned that off. Actually, maybe this is a good thing. Shit, this is not a good thing. We just gotta start trying things. So you're gonna... Nothing uses this, so you might as well. We're gonna make the sockets... We're gonna throw them to the pawn collision channel. They're not gonna have collision, but they're gonna be in this channel. What's not a good thing, Louise? I'm trying to figure out... I'm trying to rework the trombone's controls with mouse and keyboard, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet. I very intentionally did not use collision for anything. So I think I can get away with this, maybe? We'll find out. Wait, collision presets custom. Jesus, what am I doing? Okay, well, I should at least be consistent here. So, no collision, pawn. Do not block visibility. No, I don't want you to actually... Okay, here's what I want. This stuff is real finicky, by the way, so it's a good thing I'm messing with it right now. Okay, so I want to do custom. I want you to ignore all collision, everything you could possibly hit. I might change to overlap later, but I want you to block visibility so that you work for hit detection. That's what I want. Now your object type to be pawn. Pawn. Not both static, pawn. Pawn. I want this for every socket. Visibility, not the camera. Bam. And custom. Okay. Alright, we're gonna make an array of. Okay, so get the hit result under the cursor. Break it, not that. Break. Let's go back to context sensitive. Break hit results. Here we're gonna kind of copy what we had over here. No, because it's totally different. Okay. I hope this returns the first thing hit. Okay, so what I want you to do is just print what you hit. Not the actor, because that'll be this. Hit print the component. Let's see if this is working. Then let's call this every tick instead of the controller one. So, a controller. On the appendage, looping check for mouse press. Disable for mouse keyboard. Get the player pawn, update activation. if, oh god, project the world to the screen. Find the world position of the pawn. Get the mouse position. Make a vector. Okay, from the 2D space pawn to the cursor. Why was that required? The shit am I doing? Oh, this is probably to update the arrow. Okay. Okay, so let's just say this entire code path is just only for the controller. Like all of this. I'm not even gonna fuss with it. Can I delete that now? Yeah. Okay. Okay. We can check for mouse press. Looping. Check for controller press. Okay, so this whole path is just only for if you're a controller. And I'm just not going to call that right now because I don't give a fuck. So for now, we're just not going to support the controller for a bit while we figure out the mouse. Wait, what does this do? Oh, the target is player pawn. Okay. Yeah. So now, this is update appendage selection controller. Update appendage selection mouse. Let's compile these things. Oh shit, poor Punky's here. Yeah, it's not the most fun task, but it'll get done and the game will be better for it. You should, yeah, multiple graphs. You know, we never do that at work. We tend to, eventually things become, when the graph gets big enough, usually something either moves into code or it becomes general purpose enough that it becomes a function. So things have never gotten quite this out of control before, but this is a blueprint project, so each of these boxes should probably actually be a separate graph. You're right, that's a much better way to structure it. Someday when I clean this up, I'll do that. Let's say when. Let's go with when I clean this up, because Lord knows that should happen. I'm doing good, Javo. What's up, man? You called me by my real name, but I don't know your real name, and that's not fair. Look, guys, alright, one thing at a time, okay? Jesus. It's Friday night at 8 o'clock. Cut me some slack here. We've already started talking about Trump. Stream's already started off on a bad foot. Okay, appendage... Update appendage selection. Oh fuck, what happened? Why is... Oh, this probably just needs to be recompiled. I hope. No. No, we have problems. Am I allowed to do that? Okay, this now compiles. Will you now compile? Crap. I renamed this function and it did not like it. Didn't like it at all. Usually it updates that. It's just so much red right now. Oh god. And now it's gone. Don't do that. Alright, okay. We're gonna be alright. It's gonna be just fine. User error here is inevitable. Okay. Arrow angle. Usually it works fine if I rename a function. Actually, almost never... I don't think I've encountered this before. What was my portfolio like when I first entered the industry? I mean, that was a long time ago. It was, I went around with a demo reel and I made the best demo reel I could. I made sure it was competitive with other demo reels that people had. Like, basically I googled people who already had rigging jobs, because I knew I wanted to be a rigger. And I looked at what their demo reels were, and I tried to make sure my demo reel was about on par with that. And then I went around GDC like, I can do everything everybody else can do, but I've never had a job before. And I managed to convince somebody to hire me. Then I immediately quit school, moved across the country, and took the job because I was terrified that I wouldn't get into the industry if I didn't. So it was a lot of hustle. It's little column A, little column B. Yeah, also, they were working on an MMO, and I was really obsessed with World of Warcraft at the time, and I was able to articulate exactly why the Druid tank was superior to the Warrior tank at the time. And I drank a beer with a bunch of nerds and explained why my tanking strategy was better. That might have helped me get the job, too. I don't know if... I wouldn't call that knowledge, Chris, but yeah, that probably didn't hurt. Okay. This is an unsettling situation. It's a kind of a knowledge, I guess. Go to a bar. No, actually. Let me explain. The Druid tank is far superior. Which is ironic. I thought all that time I had spent playing World of Warcraft was the time I was wasting. And the time I had spent, like... I really phoned home a couple of the projects I didn't feel like doing, I'm not gonna lie, in college. I really phoned home a couple of them. And at the time I was like, God, I am just barely hanging on. I do not deserve to graduate. And then it turned out the thing that got me the job was the playing the video game stuff. I didn't go to college to make video games. I went to film school. I made games for fun. So, let's assume no farm, no foul there. Oh god, shit's still fucked, huh? Where? Oh. Thumbstick. So there's already a thing for... Oh, because it's not there. Update appendage selection controller. I find this shade of red very unsettling. So apparently we already have this for the thumbstick stuff, so I might just not need this over here anymore. Let's test that theory. When did I get out of college? Sorry, give me a sec. Let's see, I've been in the industry 11 years, so 11 years ago. Alright, so if I'm right, and I'm probably not, the controller should still work. Shit. There's already 2 code paths. I have had no excuse for it being this shitty this long. Just being a real piece of shit, apparently. Alright. I mean, I might still need this to initialize it, so I'm not going to delete all this yet. Interesting. Okay, so looping check for mouse prize. I think this is the part I actually need. If you're holding the left, or, well, in this case, always the left mouse button. If activation arrow is valid. I don't need that one anymore. Invisible, I don't need that anymore either. Just need to know if you're holding the left mouse button. Because we're not going to use the activation arrow in the new world order. Okay. So if the mouse is clicked, get control to pawn, is that how I'm doing it now? Yeah. Do I never declare the pawn? I guess I don't. Okay. I should probably have stored that off by a variable by now. Cast the player pawn. What's the new thing called? Update appendage selection mouse. Update appendage selection mouse. I don't know what to send you yet. I also don't know why I decided to save that randomly. That was a weird decision. I'm just clicking shit. Right, well that doesn't move ever. Okay, so I don't know why the things are happening that are happening. That wasn't working at all, I'll tell you that much. Hey mate, I'm working on a new control scheme for the trombone when you're in mouse and keyboard. Oh, can you guys hear the audio? No, you shouldn't be able to. It usually does, Planner. I don't know what happened. It's probably my fault. How did the 2008 crisis affect your employment? Yeah, that's why I took the first fucking job I could. I was terrified, man. Basically, nobody I graduated with got jobs. I was very lucky to get the opportunity I had, and I clung to it. Actually, like, I mean, I managed to impress the right people at a time where the job I was moving into had a lot of weird political stuff going on. The guy that hired me, I was hired to replace somebody that was incredibly smart but incredibly difficult for the person who was hiring me to work with. But the person that was hiring me didn't have the ability or knowledge to do the job of the person I was replacing. And the person that hired me was let go my first week there. And the person I was replacing, they never actually got rid of him. They were afraid to, so instead they kind of just moved him into another department, and they're like, well, I guess just ask that guy if you need help. So it was a weird situation. It was incredibly stressful, and about 6 months after I started, the entire studio shut down. That was my first gig in the industry. But I had a goddamn job, which was better than most people that I graduated with, so I was pretty happy about it. Like, as fucked up as it sounds, like, it was a really rough time back then. I'm glad Rachel likes the game, May. Are you working? Are you working? You've got work to do, May. Got a really complicated character to write. I'm following your work, May. Can't wait to see it live. I have not seen The Room. I'm sorry, 6TY4. Cool. Yeah. They hired me. I didn't know any of this when I got hired either. Like, my first job in the industry, I wasn't being told I was replacing somebody. They were like, yeah, we don't have a rigger anymore. And then I got there and it's like, yeah, they do. They interviewed me while he was on vacation, and then were gonna let him go but didn't. The whole thing was so fucked. Huh? Not from Kind? Oh, it's a free t-shirt. Most of my t-shirts are free. It's the industry. Yeah, I don't remember which event I got this one at. They all kind of blur together. So yeah. Oh, no, Kind's only gonna come out on PC, at least initially. I don't have, like, this is my fun project. I don't want to have to start. That stuff is work. When you have to start figuring out how to get things on different platforms and shit, that's a lot of work. And, like, contracts and just bullshit. That's what I do for my day job. It's not the kind of thing I want to do yet for Kind, at least. Maybe if this is, like, actually takes off, we'll see. But alright, so nothing is working. Let's try to figure that out. Let's try to understand the code a little here. So looping check for mouse press happens every tick. This is the controller. Okay. Fuck the controller. Looping check for mouse press. If you're holding this or this. Other thing. Okay. I got rid of the whole idea of activation B, if I recall. Yeah. I'm loath to delete it, because we might bring it back. So I'm gonna leave it. Alright. So activation A. Left mouse button set active. I already have a bool for that? Jesus. I don't remember any of this. If you're the trombone. Right. I also don't want to do this if you're activated with mouse. Not if you're the trombone and you're not stacked on something and you're not being activated with the mouse. This will only happen if you're the controller now, which is good. So that'll kill the arrow. But now you're holding activation A. So now every tick will go down here. Here. With being checked for mouse press, you'll determine that you are doing this, and you'll update the appendage selection with the mouse. Which all it should do is get the hit result under the cursor, find all the pawns, and declare them. Okay. So let's see if that's happening at all. I have a Brazilian roommate in college who told me a stereotype about Americans. If you ever want to find an American anywhere in the world, just go someplace where they give out free t-shirts. Or beer. Free beer. Free shit. Why is everything so much better when it's free? I don't know the deal. It just does. Hey, Numbat, what's up, man? I got used to it real quick, level 1 goblin. It depends. It's such a step up from Kismet, man. Like, I've worked with so... And Kismet was such a step up from, like, Unreal Script. Oh god, I have stories about that. Man. I think that's part of why I love it so much, because I've seen this engine grow over the last several years. And I've seen every iteration, and it just keeps getting better. You just kind of like something more when you go through that process. Yeah, basically all of it is Rootlancer. On the job or just... I mean... I've never, like... It's a lot harder to learn how to do something by just, like, opening a book and being like, I want to learn the editor. It's a lot easier if you just have something you want to make or something you want to do and you're figuring out how. Once you know the what, and you're just in a place where you're like, I want to do this, how do I do it? That's when, at least for me, that's the only way I learn. So yeah, it's mostly learning on the job or by making games or by doing something, doing this. Like, this isn't my job, but I guess it's kind of my job now. Is this work? I'm not at work. I'm gonna argue with no. Everybody's different. I don't think I could ever learn, like, I don't have the patience for tutorials. Even now, there'll be something I want to do, and I swear to God, if I have to watch a video, I'll 10x it, or... I just like video tutorials, because you can't just skip to the part you need. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm trying to figure out... This should turn yellow. Every tick. It's not turning yellow. So this isn't even getting called, maybe? Or am I not on the right object? Oh, it is turning yellow every tick. Okay, so this is definitely getting called. Nothing is printing. That's upsetting. We should have... This is getting called, but nothing is printing, which means that it's not hitting anything. Oh, right, because I'm not clicking anything. That kind of makes sense. Or it's just not. Here's something. I'm just gonna print if you get a hit result, and this should hopefully just spew a shit ton of false, which will at least give me something to work with here. False. Okay. So, you're not finding anything. Good. Hold on, I'm rethinking things. If you, for everything else, you can click anywhere on the screen and it'll work. That's what it is for the drum, the accordion. I don't want it to be that for the trombone. If you click somewhere on the screen, it could not work. Shit, I'm waffling real hard here, guys. Hey Sandbats, what's up? I'm not gonna like this control scheme. I'm gonna hate it. Now would I break? Okay, now I can't select anything. Is that where we are? What's your deal now? I might revert and rethink. Because I clearly just broke shit. So I thought what I wanted was... Okay, so here's the problem. Things are going shitty, sandbits. Problem is, for everything else, all you do is left click and it just shifts between two positions, right? I like that. I don't want to have to force the player to choose a limb to click. There's an elegance to this. It's really easy to understand. Same thing with the drum. You just fucking click. You don't have to click any part of it. It's the trombone. I assume this is working again. I like that you can click anywhere on the screen and the arrow decides. I don't like that you had... I was gonna change it so that you have to click a specific limb to activate that limb, but then if you click off, because I've trained you everywhere else, it doesn't matter where you click. Like, what am I gonna do? Just determine the thing that's closest to your cursor? That might not be the worst thing. Project the point of the extremity to the world's... Ooh, yeah, okay. I'm gonna revert. We're gonna do that. Yep. New idea. This is all bullshit. We're reverting this. Okay. Let's shelve it, and then we can lie to ourselves and say this wasn't a waste of an hour. And I'll delete the shelf later. I do this a lot. Move to... Let me tell you. Make a branch. Yeah, we're gonna branch. In one branch we have one control scheme, and in the other we have another one. And we're gonna maintain 2 live branches. Just to make this as painful and terrible as possible. What is a stash? Is that like a shelf? Same idea? The problem is you can't merge U assets, right? Like if I update this U asset, it's a binary file. You can't like if I update the player controller, I can't then go roll in some shit from a different player controller. That is the downside of Blueprint. You can't merge. It doesn't matter if you're a solo dev, right? But it's like you have to make sure you only have so much logic in any given blueprint if you're working in a larger project. Because, for instance, towards the end of the Flame and the Flood, wars were fought over who could check out the player pawn because we put way too much into the player pawn. Everybody's bugs involved touching the player pawn in some way. We don't merge U assets. I think there's been some experimental stuff that does it, but I wouldn't. I would just break out your data enough that you don't... Only one person has it checked out at a time. Okay, so the new plan. And now that I think I know what I'm going to do, maybe. Player pawn. Okay, edit. Graph. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. let's just make sure shit's working. Probably lose my damn mind. Okay. So in this world, we're finding the angle between, okay, so we're taking the position of the pawn into screen space. We're finding the angle between the pawn and the cursor, and that's driving this arrow. And then we're finding, similarly, we're finding we're doing a vector from the pawn to each appendage that's extended. And we're comparing basically the angle to see which angle is closest, right? And that's how we're just determining which thing we're selecting. To be fair, that purple might be a little too subtle. Maybe I should tint the entire limb. I don't know. This is fun and good, but it gets weird, especially like a state like this. You feel like you should be selecting this top limb, but you're selecting the bottom limb. It's NG. No good. Like this, does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. It feels like you should, like if I'm clicking here, I clearly want the back limb, right? Okay. So instead of going by angle, we're going to go by position. Which is actually, should be much simpler. All we gotta do, is get the position of the end of the appendage in screen space and compare that to the position of the cursor and determine which one's closer. Which should be really trivial, I think. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Sounds easy. So, if you're clicking maybe we leave the arrow. Yeah, leave the arrow for now. It's fine, it's not hurting anything. Oh god, you know what we did in the other one that we have to do again here? Is rename that fucking function. Do you think it'll work this time? Whatever, really fast. So, update appendage selection. Controller. See, that's confusing, so it's player controller. What else would I call a controller? Gamepad? Controller. Alright. Maybe it'll be fine. Compile. Save. It updated. This time we're good. I must have done something funky last time. I don't know. When it's directly in the middle, depending on where you are, it'll just, like, there's a little dead zone, but for the most part you can just flip from one end to the other. So yeah, yeah, okay, so control the character. That's for the arrow. Get the mouse position. Make a 2D vector, so make a point. So I'm getting a vector, normalizing it. Updating the arrow rotation, that's fine. What I want is my computer's starting to chuck. See if that fixes it. Mouse. Okay. And for this I want... Why do you have the arrow angle? That's fine. Get all sockets that can't be selected. Go into your socket data if you're extended. And, well, let's just start with if you're extended. Actually, these days I think you can just get the, because the location of the socket's at the end, so this should be really, really easy. Should just be able to get the skeletal mesh's world location. Now I gotta project that to 2D screen space. I wonder if I can just like, is there screen space? Project a screen. I figured this out already. Did for here. Project world to screen based on the player controller. Oh. World position. Controller. Project. You don't like that, huh? Cast a player controller. Bullshit. Okay. So get the world position, project it to screen. Cursor position. Did that here. Mouse position. I guess find the distance, so why are you doing this? Context sensitive. This vector minus this vector, and then get the length. I can't get the length? Get vector 2D length, sure, whatever. Yeah. Then I just need to compare that for each socket, right? Seems reasonable. Probably. I do here temp socket angle. So for the angle stuff, temp socket angle. do I do here? The delta and the rotator. There's almost certainly some dumb shit in here. Like, almost certainly. It would be shocking if it wasn't. But that's okay. That's for the controller. We're not supporting that. So, for the mouse and keyboard, let's be slightly less dumb. Let's, for each selectable socket, if it's extended, find the distance between the end of the scale mesh and the mouse position. Promote that to some variable, probably, yeah. Looks like I made a bunch of temps for the other shit. Probably do that here too. Temp. Let's close testing. Testing. Closest socket distance. If this is less than testing closest socket distance. Then set. Testing closest socket distance. Highlight. Why did I do that? Oh, because if it's the first time, don't even bother checking. That makes sense. So for each selectable socket, you're going to do all this testing, but if nothing's selected yet, skip all this shit. Just highlight the first thing you see. I want you to go through the loop though. Even on the very first tick. So I chose the wrong thing. This is if you're true. Okay. Get all selectable sockets. If no socket's selected, just take the first one and set it. After that, currently highlighted socket will not be 0. For every extended, oh shit, no, it's gotta at least be extended. Try again. Okay. Okay, so for each extended socket. Closest socket. Edit the highlighted socket. Currently highlighted socket will be the new one. There is no input to. This is no longer a thing. I'm very confused. Yeah, no, this is not a thing. That's some legacy shit. I'm still maintaining like 3 different potential control schemes for this stupid trombone. I'm just not going to support that one for this. So, alright. Sure, maybe. Let's find out. Have I ever had mac and cheese pizza? No. Can't say I have. Sounds amazing. Saw something today for mac and cheese. No, what was it? It was a bowl of tomato soup with mac and cheese and also grilled cheese in it. Really innovating on the pizza over there, huh? This is It's a bit weird. It's definitely not working. What it is doing is kind of strange. It seems really sticky. Like if I go over one, it knows it. But then when I'm closer to a different one, it doesn't seem to care. Until I literally go over it. God, it's kind of hard. Yeah, I don't like that, but I wonder what it's doing. Right, as I get closer, nothing's resetting it back out. Okay, so what you really need to do is... Right, yeah, okay. If you're extended and you're not already the selected socket, not equal to this, so if this and this, now instead of testing against this float, what we need to test against is the currently highlighted sockets. World position. Philly cheesesteak burrito? Nah, man. I had dinner already, otherwise this would be really, like, taco pizza? What the hell are you guys doing? What epic bong rips have resulted in the shit you guys are talking about today? Should slap some nachos in that shit too, man. I shouldn't talk. When I was in college, I used to get, like, I would get one of those country crock mac and cheese things. That way you didn't have to bother making it. It was just like microwave. And a country crock mashed potato thing. And one of those bags of Purdue chicken. And this was common because I was like way too lazy and I just had all I had was a microwave. I would just take the two tubs, mix them together of the mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. And then whenever it was time for like a meal, I would just slap some chicken in it, microwave it. And it was basically like comfort food in a tub. And that was my... Go eat, Root Lancer. Brain needs fuel. Yeah. That does suck. In that case, get busy. Shit! It's still not working. I was really confident. I was overly confident that that would just work. Okay, I don't know, let's like debug shit, I guess. Why didn't that work? So get the distance from the player controller to the currently highlighted socket. Alright, let's see what we got here. Make your pancreas flinch. Your body awareness is the next level, man. I don't know how to, like... I can't, like... Maybe put in a print statement. I need some way to check the spew here. Let's see. What do I want to print? Maybe... Let's just print the distance. Yeah. Anytime, I think you should only be checking one socket, right? There's only one socket that's extended and not the highlighted socket. So this should work. All things are possible. Why is nothing printing? Why would it be like this? Wait, is this not executing at all? Oh yeah, of course. Duh, Jesus. Put the print statement in the wrong spot. Those numbers actually look right. But it's not changing. So I'm clearly just doing something wrong. That's actually very encouraging. So, getting... Now the currently highlighted socket 0. So we're to like watch this value. Yeah. That's right. No, oh, I can't move it. Okay, I'm gonna watch it real shitty. It is currently 4. It is not willing to change. It knows what it is. It is accurate. The numbers are right. Okay. So it's detecting that it's true. It's not getting to here. Like, it's getting to there, it's just not doing anything. As though this is always true. It is just disconcerting that this is always true. I don't know, let's print this, I guess. This should remain well, no, it shouldn't. Well, it's real far away. No wonder it's always true. Where do you think you are? Alright, something's fucked. Fuck me. Alright, so I forgot to wire that. There was no declared player controller. Must have found some phantom player controller. Bet it works now. Alright, now it'll work. Oh, thank God. Okay, sweet. Yeah, yeah. Just the weird cases. Right here. See? That feels better. Slight difference, but just feels better. I mean, it's hard to say, like here. Are you really in screen space closer to that? It's a little wonky. You might be. I might need to make it so that the arrow extends to the position of the mouse. That might be a better... because it's basically what's happening. Should I do that? Okay, two options. One option, I make the arrow, this little arrow icon, go from the center of the player to the mouse. And we keep the things the way they are. Other option is I change this entirely so that I'm detecting the world space or the screen space location at the end of the arrow, and I'm determining which limb is closest to that. I feel like option A gives the player more control. I like option A more, I think. It's gonna be a pain in the ass because now I gotta scale this arrow thing. And only when you're using mouse, not when you're using controller. By the way, does the controller still work? Yeah. Sorry. Kinda. Yeah, well. What you gonna do? Some people are always just gonna play with controller. Yeah, let's wrap this up. Let's get rid of this. Let's scale that damn arrow. Thanks, Sambats. I'm glad. I was worried I'd alt tab over in the entire chat and be like, no, you dumb bitch. Go with option 2. Alright, option A. Because the options are apparently A or 2. Okay, so I want that arrow to scale. We got this, right? Yeah? What do we got here? I don't know how to do that exactly. Where does this... Combat? Art? Are you fucking kidding? Oh. Let's clean that up. there's no longer combat. Move here. Move here. Fix up. Where's my arrow? There's my arrow. Alright, this is moved. Can it scale from there? If I change this to 64. Alright, so yeah, so I might just only have to change. Okay. 256. Alright. Yes, okay. Before I had it set up so it scaled from the middle. But I must change that at some point. So this has changed a lot over time. Fortunately, I think this should theoretically be pretty easy. Oh god, okay, so I don't want the player pawn to ever call the HUD directly, right? Like, need to be careful about this kind of shit. Oh, apparently I'm doing it anyway, so... Well, shoot. Let's not get into the habit of doing that. I'm gonna get into cyclical dependencies if I keep this shit up again. Oh, I don't need this here though. I'm already updating. Yeah, I'm already updating the rotation here. Might as well just update the scale here as well. Get the mouse position. Yeah, I mean, shit. So this is from the player pawn to the mouse. Don't normalize it, get the length. Is that all I need? please. I'm disturbed they say size instead of scale. Let's go for scale. Render scale. Let's try it. Alright. Maybe. See if that does it. Thanks, May. Have a good time watching that. Well, that's not ideal. So, alright. Maybe the opposite then. Distance divided by 256. So that's to 1. Oh yeah, there we go. Live. Downside doing this on Friday is I can't have anyone focus test it till Monday. Make this better. That does feel better. Once you get used to it a little. Feels a lot better. I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to it because I'm used to the shitty way of doing things. But I bet new people will love it. Sweet. Nice. Nice, guys. Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah. I feel good about that, actually. That's been a pain in my ass for a while. I like that. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and hate that. You know that's inevitable, right? But... good. Okay. Gonna check that in. That might be it for tonight. It is 9:30. And there is a talk I want to listen to at 10 o'clock. So... this might be GG, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna try to stream again a couple times this weekend, because I can't do my usual Monday stream. I feel pretty bad about it. I'm gonna keep working, Rory. Just not stream while working. Probably. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I might just... it's like an endless pile of shit. I don't feel bad, Rory. I never feel bad. Rory, if I never work again, then you don't get to play this game. You saying you don't want to play this game, Rory? Make me sad. Wow. Jesus. Apparently not, then. Wow. Alright, well. Fuck you. I'm gonna make it anyway. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Oh, I'm glad I promoted you to mod. Thanks for saving my ass that one time. Later, Sandbats. I hope you guys have a great night.